Do cats really sleep as long as it seems? The average of 12 to 16 hours per day, perhaps even longer for senior felines. Is all of that time truly spent in a sound sleep? How can cats be asleep yet have this ability to spring into action at the drop of a hat? Be ready for just about anything mere moments after being in dreamland? Are things just not quite as they appear? In this material we will talk about how and why cats are, more times than not, on high alert, how much time is truly spent in deep sleep, the importance of cat naps, and why sleep, not being the luxury that it can be for humans, plays a big part and a big reason as to why your cat is often watching and listening. Interesting topic, so don't fall asleep. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Truth be told, if we were to pull the curtain back on things, cats rest more often than they actually sleep, especially young and healthy felines. That deep sleep, that's only about 25% of those 12 to 16 hours per day. If you get the feeling that your cat is always watching you, you're probably not too far off. Those eyes peel just a bit, and those ears hearing just about everything. If you've owned a cat for a while, even a short while, it will likely come as no surprise to learn that all of this is very true. If you've ever wondered why your cat seems asleep until you make the slightest sound. If you've ever wondered why cats just seem to go from sleeping to popping right up and ready to face the world, this is why. At most, they're likely napping. At the least, they were just resting those eyes while the ears were doing the busy work. Cat nap, we've all heard it, and it exists for a reason, those short naps. And then firing off with a burst of energy. Cats have perfected it. Resting one moment, on the hunt the next. I wish I could pull that off. I'm sure many of us, those first few hours each day, we need those hours just to wake up, let alone be productive. The sleep routine for cats, how they are wired for sleep, it's just not like us. Felines don't have the natural ability to knock out for 7 or 8 hours at a time. The ability to go to sleep at night and not wake up until the sun rises, it's a very different world for cats. Felines do have the ability to turn that motor off to rest for about 20 minutes at a time, a light nap, and then it's right back into action. The top end, well, let's say about 35 minutes for rest, and that's really about it. Cats just aren't built for sleep, at least not our style of sleep. They're built to be on guard, on the defensive and curious. A cat living on the land, both predator and prey, they're simply not afforded the time or the luxury to sleep for hours. Their life could hang in the balance. This is why cats in the home, comfortable felines without a care in the world. They still enjoy those cat naps, and then it's right back into action. To get a better understanding, let's think about us, humans. Sure, we sleep because we need it, certainly, but how many times do we sleep just because we can? How many times do we treat sleep almost like a hobby, like a reward? Sleeping in late on the weekend, sleep late simply because it's, well, something to do? Cats just relax when they can. Power naps, energy naps, using any downtime for rest, and then it's back up, wide awake, either partaking in the daily routine or trying to figure out the next adventure. I've owned several cats over the years and looked after even more. The one thing all of them had in common was their ability to sleep and then become very active. In fact, just moments after waking up. When talking about young and healthy cats, there's not a lot of gray area here, some type of middle ground where they have to sort of shake off the rust. They're just back at it. As for the stereotype that cats sleep all the time, the word rest, that should be the best description. Cats rest for about 12 hours per day. The actual sleep, that deep sleep, it can vary. I mentioned how cats are not hardwired for long form sleep like we are. This 6 to 7, maybe 8 hour window of sleep. Another difference between felines and humans as it relates to sleep is that people, we have a lot of bridges to choose from during periods of great inactivity during our day and night. There are things to do, even things to watch on television, before we get back on it and do something else. The TV, internet, music. We have leisure activities. Almost like an interlude of activities, if you will. Cats, they really don't live in that same world. I think the reason cats sleep a lot, or the reason that people assume that they do, is because in the feline world, especially when you're talking about a comfortable house cat, a lack of activity, more times than not, means sleep, resting. That's pretty much the default setting. The next time you are around your cat, pay attention to what happens after that fun dies down, the play session, the mealtime. When there's nothing to do, a cat will nap. That's one of the main reasons why cats can hit that even 16-hour sleep time in a 24-hour window. When there's no action, cats will just close their eyes. And while I do realize that people certainly nap, it's just not the same thing. You don't nap at work as soon as there's nothing to do. The fact that cats can nap at the drop of a hat also plays into the fact that they can become alert so fast. They're resting. It's an interlude and intermission until the play resumes. With respect to the core topic of this video, especially the aspect of your cat watching you, I'd also like to mention the importance of the daily routine. Your pet doesn't own a Rolex, but they do have an internal clock. Depending on the environment, so much of your cat watching you, even if they seem asleep, could have a lot to do with wanting and waiting for certain moments to arrive. Cuddle time, playtime, mealtime. Your cat could be resting those eyes as a means to just pass the time until something good happens. Almost like hitting the snooze button before it's time to get up for work or school. With respect to your cat, and if you think they're watching you, it could be because they're waiting for a proper cue, and they just don't want to miss it. When it comes to a topic like this, admittedly, there are several blurred lines. On one hand, yes, cats do sleep roughly 12 to 16 hours per day. And yes, roughly 75% of that time is what could be defined as light napping, while only 25% would be considered a deep sleep. If anything could be defined as alert sleeping, most healthy cats would fall into that category. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts on this topic? Can you relate to your cat being asleep, yet seemingly awake all at the same time? Does it take nothing more than your footsteps to jolt your pet wide awake? Have you personally found in all of your years of ownership that you've never had to actually wake your cat up? Your personal stories, general thoughts on this topic? That comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.